Hello, everyone. This is Jade Inspiration Masters. And today I have a very special guest. My guest today is Ms. Shipra Batra. Let me tell you about her a little bit, and then we'll be having a conversation with her. Shipra, welcome to Inspiration Masters.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay.
I will tell our friends here Ms. Shipra is a professor of English at Brookhaven College. Although she's a full time professor, she's very popularly known and regarded as the English tutor serving the DFW Metroplex since 2014. She started out with helping a neighbor with their college essay, and the word spread out. And now, after 2 years, she had to formally put her company out, which is Shipras SAT and Creative Writing Classes LLC. This is to give the structure to what she's doing. She is having the students not locally, nationally, but internationally. And she has her classes in creative writing, reading, SAT prep, English AP, and honors courses for the middle school and high school students. And she also helps college students with their college application essays. She loves to call herself intellectual recluse and self-confessedly read. Welcome, Shipra.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you
I'm
so much
so
for having
glad. Yeah, so glad you could find time to come and talk to us today. So we'll be
me. No
finding out
problem.
more. You are doing some amazing work here in DFW, and you have the students sitting from all over the world. That is really
Well,
awesome.
not all over.
Not all over the world.
Yeah, they are all over the country and
Uh-huh.
internationally. Not too far
And
internationally, maybe it is Canada, but not
right, right,
internationally. Basically,
right,
they visit
exactly.
my city because now I'm doing it
Yeah,
online. But
yeah.
right now, all over the country and internationally, a little bit, that is in Canada.
Yeah, that's the same way for us. Like we have students sitting from US and Canada and India. So though it is available internationally, but typically we have only three countries right now. That's
Yeah,
where we
yeah.
have the students from. And that's very common and normal when you start out. So that's how it's going to be. I have those students have said from Australia and from other places, but that's very, very few or rare. So awesome. So, Sipra, you started a few years back,
Mhm.
and all of us, when we start out, we have somebody somewhere who inspire us that we get started. Tell us something about yourself so everybody comes to know you better. How did it all start for you?
I didn't start any journey here, Jay. I resumed my journey because I was already an English teacher there in India. I taught there for 5 years. When then it just kind of got abruptly this thing. Then I had to just leave everything there, and I migrated here. So until 2010, I was not doing anything. In 2010, I enrolled myself for a master's degree in literature at UTG. And then, I just resumed my journey, which was kind of, which abruptly ended 2005. So that is it. I mean, I just
So you
continued.
already were in there already from the beginning.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Since 2000, I started my first job there, and I was just continuing, what I was already doing there. So I
Mhm.
continued my journey. I did not start it all over again.
Awesome. So you had planned it way ahead of time that this is how it's going to be, and only just you reconnected back here when you started out. And so you
Correct.
do teach at Brookhaven.
I do.
What's your main courses which you teach?
Composition only, writing. So basically, I'm tutoring and teaching the same thing. What I'm teaching in the college in the morning, I'm tutoring
Mhm.
on the same thing in the evening. So it's just the same thing, which is
Same
related
thing.
to
Yeah,
writing.
it's very interesting that you were trying to help somebody and then the word spread out,
Yeah,
and now you
yeah,
have
yeah.
everybody all around you who's coming and asking you about that. That's quite interesting, and that's probably the best way to do it.
Mhm.
Because when people know about you and spread the word, I mean, there can't be anything better than that. But that also says something about you that you deliver. I think that's the most important part,
Yeah.
because when you depend on the word of the mouth, this is we are spreading our word of the mouth and how we work. But yeah, that means that you obviously deliver every single time. So, what you think about is the most enjoyable part of what you do? Because there are so many things you're
Gratification.
doing.
Gratification actually, and that's immediate. Gratification is there in pretty much in everything that you undertake to do. But
Uh-huh.
in teaching, the best part of teaching is the gratification is immediate. I mean, especially that part, when I'm teaching somebody, and the next moment, at least, or maybe after 30 minutes, they will say, "Oh, okay, now I get it. Now I think I can do it." And then the
Uh-huh.
biggest gratification, I would say the grandfather of all gratifications would be, when they would apply the same thing which I taught them, maybe on the
Uh-huh.
test or something, and they're going to get good grade. And the parents text me saying that, my child is doing so well just because you taught my kid. That is something which is totally out of this world. I mean, you have to do it in order to experience it.
Right. So, and that's great to hear always as coaches when somebody calls you. And so when I got a call, oh, Mr. J, I won the UIL. And I said, oh, wow, that's so interesting because they're so
Yeah,
excited
yeah,
about it.
yeah. Mhm.
And that
And
gives a
nothing,
real
no
flow.
amount of money compares to that, Jay. I mean, of course, they're paying me financially for the services and stuff.
Uh-huh.
No amount of money could ever pay for the satisfaction that you get, the happiness that you get. It is just so
Right.
inexplicable. It's totally, outside the purview of explaining. I just cannot explain that to you. So
That
yeah,
that is so awesome. And the major reason you get that kind of results is that's what because you are after that part.
yeah,
That you want to make
totally
sure
agree.
that your students are getting a full advantage of you and your time, and you want to create something out of them. That's probably the best thing. So that is so good to hear that. And since you're enjoying at the same time, it is very simply understood by everyone watching that the students are enjoying the same way too.
Mhm,
It's a
mhm,
two-way process where we enjoy and the students enjoy.
mhm.
So tell us something more about, because there are so many things you do right now, which is the creative writing, the reading, the SAT prep, and the APs, as well as the essays. So how do you structure your program, and what age group you normally
I
teach?
start typically from fifth grade, which is just fifth grade, but then, it is close to sixth grade. My expertise is basically middle school. But since fifth grade is just, like the end of the spectrum, end of elementary. So I start from fifth grade because most parents, they don't have the patience to wait until the sixth grade. So I
Uh-huh.
started from fifth grade, but definitely I don't go below that because as it is, I'm teaching in a college, and in India also I was teaching high school. So as it is, I'm doing, like older kids. Fifth is the utmost which I could do. So I start from fifth grade and it goes all the way until college. So what happens is how it typically starts is how it goes with everybody is, first they come to me for
Right.
reading, then the
Uh-huh.
writing, then they do advanced English, then SAT, and SAT again has two parts, which is reading, verbal, and then
Uh-huh.
writing, and then the college application. So one kid who comes to me fifth, sixth, whenever they start with me, it goes all the
Uh-huh.
way until college, all the way until they graduate high school.
Oh, that is so awesome. So
And plus, then they have their siblings. And
so
plus, they have
you,
their siblings. And now that I'm doing it online, so they're also telling it to their relatives who are all over the country. So now, kind of, the word is really, really spreading around.
that is so true. That is so true. And all of us, those who are in education, so we have education institute, we share that same thing with you.
Mhm.
That we have students now sitting from every part of the country.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
that's
really
so
wish,
amazing.
Jay, this country thing is replaced with world. Next time when we talk, you're talking
Uh-huh.
about the world, not just the country, right?
Oh, that's right. It is going to be eventually. That's what's going to happen because these things they do spread. And the last year we didn't have much of an option than to go online because
Yeah.
we were not in the classroom at all. So
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
and on this on the programs which you do on the fifth grade onwards,
Mhm.
so you call them, how does the program work? Like you call them once a week, or how do you call
Yeah,
them?
yeah. So basically, all the courses which I'm doing, all the courses under the sun,
Hmm.
whatever I'm doing and offering, they all
Hmm.
are 8 classes only because my understanding, experience, and now it has been proven also because
Uh-huh.
I've entered into the seventh year and it has really worked. So what I do is all the courses, I only give them 8 classes, but I have increased the duration of each class, which is 90 minutes. Typically, everybody does 60 minutes, but I do it 90 minutes. And the kids
Uh-huh.
from the beginning, they know they have to come to me for 8 classes only. So
Right.
I have designed my own courses. Everything is divided into piecemeals, okay? And we do
Uh-huh.
8 classes, structured classes, and I call them power classes. And after the course is done, then they sit for the final examination. So until
Uh-huh.
they get the passing score, they are not issued the completion certificate or the certificate of diploma, however you may want to call it. So
Uh-huh.
that's how I do it. So basically, everything is the 8 classes only because in the beginning only they know they're not going to be there for the rest of their lives. So when
Right.
somebody knows the number of classes are limited, so they are interested from the very beginning, and that
Yeah.
is something which is an important part of the success of all my courses.
Well, that's absolutely true because we want the students to be extremely focused.
Focused and
Without,
excited also because whatever it is not going to be something which is continuous, with no end in sight. They know these are 8 limited power classes. So they come with that intention, they're excited and they know, it is not, it is going to be just 8 classes only. When something is limited, that automatically, makes it more desirable.
No, that is so true. That is so true. And do you meet like once a week, or how does that work?
Once a week.
Once
It's
a
going to
week.
be a designated day once a week. And the
Mm-hmm.
duration of each class is 90 minutes, and which is
Mm-hmm.
bisected by a 5-minute break in the middle, just
Mm-hmm.
so that, because it's a 90-minute class, I give them 5-minute break in the middle so they can just get a snack and use the restroom,
Yeah.
whatever, a bit of break. Okay, get a
Uh-huh.
little bit of recharging thing, and then we have the second half of the class until the class gets over after 90
Right.
minutes.
That's awesome. And then for the high school students, you teach them and prep them for the essay for their college admissions.
So
That's
that
very.
is not instructional, Jay. That's not instructional.
Uh-huh.
College essays, those are not instructional, and those are strictly through correspondence, which means, they write their essay, they show it to me, and then I fix it.
Uh-huh.
I give them feedback. They incorporate the feedback, then they show it to me. So basically, until I okay it, they do not submit
That's
it.
right. Yeah, because they don't have to come into the class. They just can
So
do
they
by
don't come to the
email.
class. I don't want them to come to the class, because the thing is, if I teach them, then it is going to kind of, mar the impact of the story. Because
Yeah,
college essays is basically telling your own story, okay? Because if I'm
exactly.
telling them to then it's not going to be their story as much, or not at all. So I
Yes.
said, you tell your story, and whatever I feel is not according to the
Uh-huh.
guidelines of the college, then I'll fix that for you. But the first thing has to come from you.
That is correct. Yeah, that's how we design all classes. We have to make sure that the creativity is always there. So that way, that
Yes.
is so good to hear that
Their
you have.
instruction is going to backfire. In college essays, if I give them
Uh,
instruction, I can, but I'd rather not. There it's going to
that's
backfire.
right.
Because
Yeah.
then a little bit of my stuff is also going to get incorporated into the story. That is going to be detrimental to their
It
expression.
is because anybody who is reading at the college level, they already know what has gone behind. They're quite amazing professionals, and for us, like I have had an opportunity, fortunately, to meet these people from the admission group in person. I have met them one on one personally here in Dallas, as well as at their universities personally.
Mhm.
So when I'm saying personally means I have met them on their campus, walked with them, and also mentioned and asked them questions. That includes the colleges like MIT, Harvard, Princeton,
Okay. All right. Good to know.
UC
Okay.
Berkeley, Stanford,
Okay.
and Caltech,
Okay.
UT Austin, and Texas A&M. I have personally been
Good.
onto the
All
campuses
illustrious. Yeah, yeah.
campuses of each and every one of the admission groups. So I do know that if it's not written by the student, they know it very well.
Mhm.
These are smart
Yes.
people.
Uh-huh,
Those who
uh-huh.
take care of the admission, they're
And
very smart bunch.
plus also if you're just 16 or 17, that's when you apply for colleges, so you would not be very perfect in handling that experience, which was mostly a setback or something, right? Mostly would
Yeah.
not be very perfect in handling that. But if you
Right.
handle that perfectly, I would be a little iffy about that, I would get a little skeptical, I don't think so. There is something fishy about it, because at 17, you would not know how to handle that situation. And if you're
Exactly.
doing it
So
so well,
yeah, they do
either
have the
you're doing
whole.
if you're doing it so well, either you're fibbing on the situation,
Right.
or there is something wrong with the expression. So I want this to be totally your story, and whatever little things I feel a little off, I'm just there to fix that. But for the most part, it has
Right.
to be.
And on the APs, you work on the APs too, right? For the students. So you help them with the AP courses or something.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they have the AP exams. You help them with preparing for them. So that is amazing. And these are the things which are very essential. And the APs they turn out to be very valuable, especially for the students who are taking the in-state. Their APs do count for their credits in
You get
school.
college credits,
Though
yes.
those are very important. That saves a lot of time and money for parents, I think.
Mhm.
That's really awesome. And you are going to be offering some summer programs. Tell us something about it.
Yeah, so summer program, and I'm so glad you asked that, Jay, because up until now, in the summer, I was doing just creative writing only. And the primary reason for that is, because in summer, people would just go out vacationing, go to their home countries, whatever. And creative writing is such even if you have a break of about 3 weeks, you can just pick it up right where from where you left, in creative writing, but
Yes.
not in other courses where everything is in a way interrelated, So that is why I was just doing creative writing up until now. But this year is going to be a little bit different, because I don't expect very many people, just going vacationing or just leaving, the country also because of so many restrictions and advisories, So this year I would be doing reading as well.
Uh-huh.
So reading and creative writing are essentially the only two courses which I would be offering, for grade level students, and SATs, that is all the year round, because it is administered 7 times a year. So in
Uh-huh.
addition to SAT, there's no time for SAT. SAT is all around the year. But for the summer specifically, I would just put everything else on hold, and I would just be doing, creative writing and reading.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily for the fact that, because people would be stable and they would be just here, they would not be leaving the country, and then we can just do everything in continuity and the rhythm would not break.
Right, right. So you'll be putting out everything, and that's one of the interesting thing is that you'll be putting out everything on the social media. You said you don't have a website. So tell us something about it.
Yeah, I don't have a website, and you know what? It might be an anomaly, but the thing is, I am very today, as of today, I'm very proud of the fact that I don't have a website, because it gives a very commercial look to what you're doing. I don't know,
Uh-huh.
I may be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. That's how I view it, because all I don't know. I don't know. That's just as I just said. There's a disclaimer. That's my understanding of it. If I have a
Right.
website where I'm just putting
You
the
s-
price tag for
you
every course.
saving yeah, you save some time with that. That's an advantage. And
Yeah, but the thing is,
mainly
yeah,
people
I have my own
who
ways of saving my own time. I know I'm crunched in it because I also have a daytime job, and that too at that, because I'm teaching in two colleges, not just Brookhaven. I just
uh-huh.
said Brookhaven because I've been working there, for longest time since 2015, and Colin I joined 2017. But
Uh-huh.
essentially, I'm working in two colleges, so in addition
Uh-huh.
to two full-time jobs, I'm doing this in the evening. So I have my ways to save time, which is,
Absolutely.
I have a practice already. So basically, why do you go to a website? So that you get some first-hand information of how you go about it, like the days of the classes, duration of the classes, how do you make the payment, mode
You have
of
to
payment, and all those things.
you have to update everything. Yeah, if you have a website.
So
So
I
you
have
right
my
now
own
you use
prospectuses of each
Facebook?
course.
You use Facebook mainly? How
Yeah,
do
yeah. I have a Facebook page. Yeah. And even otherwise, when parents they contact me, everybody is not coming to me through Facebook. Mostly people are coming to me through word of mouth.
word of
So
mouth?
whenever somebody contacts me, so what I do is, immediately within the next 30 seconds, I just send them, a detailed prospectus that would have all the information that they're seeking for. And that is it. Whatever the website was doing, my prospectus is doing the same thing. So
That's good. I mean, you simplified and mastered the process. So
yeah,
that is
and that is also, and another reason is, I try to steer clear of, commercial terms like sibling discount and all those things, and what you say, open house and stuff. What is it, early bird? No, nothing doing. I just steer clear of that. Just
Mhm.
to, yeah, it is commercial, financial transaction is taking place, definitely, no doubt. But that is only to impart a structure to what we are doing. But I go
Exactly.
by the value of the course. The value of the course is the important. That is why I just stay away from anything which might even remotely make it look commercial.
Uh-huh. And so how can people reach you? You want to share your Facebook? Of course, I'll be putting up along with this interview. So what's your Facebook page? So that way people can
It
reach
just
out.
goes, it just bears the name, which is Shipra Saturn Creative Writing Classes LLC. So
Okay.
just you can just enter that, just type in that, and the page would just pull up, and there you have all the information.
All the information
Just
is on
message me,
Facebook.
yeah, you can
Awesome.
just message me on the page itself, and my phone number is also there. You can just text or WhatsApp me on my phone number. So whatever works for you, you can just include it.
Okay. And of course, we'll be including the Facebook page for Miss Shipra, so you can reach out to her. And there are several things which are going on when the students approach you and the parents approach you. What is the message you want to convey to the learners and the parents? Do you have any message for them?
Yes, I certainly do. And I'm so glad I have. Thank you, Jay. Thanks to you for offering me a platform to give the message, which is reading and writing, which are primarily my flagship courses. Reading and writing, just don't do it for the grade level. They're very, very important life skills. It is very, very important for everybody to know that. I would just tell you because everybody would say, most kids now, they would want to go into technical field, which is perfectly fine. To each their own. But even in technical field, you should know, okay, you would say, okay, I have to go to Shark Tank and I only have to kind of, just present my case to the people who are there. But in order for
Mhm.
you to present your case, you have to be a little articulated, right? You just can't keep
Yes.
rambling there. Because
Hmm.
if you are found rambling, you obviously, you would be out in the first 20 seconds only. At least
Yeah.
mentally, they just check out of what they are listening. So
Uh-huh.
in order for you to be art, you have to be articulated. And what takes care of your articulation? That's writing. That is why we do
Exactly.
writing. When you write
Hmm.
something, you automatically are more articulated. and then is reading. For example, if you are VP of a big company and somebody, up above you, he gives you a document, he says, you have to read this and just say what you think about that. You're not reading that for leisure. That's not a leisure reading. You have to read it very, very carefully. Then that is what you do when we say reading for comprehension. You have to read it a certain way. So you assimilate what is in there. And just so that you can do it that way, the way you're supposed to do as a VP of a big company. And that is why we do reading for comprehension. So don't just take these courses, relegate these courses as something you only do it for school. These are big life skills which are going to
Yes,
come in handy in a big way, much, much long after the school is over. So treat them as
exactly.
life
Yeah.
skills, just the way
Mhm.
you treat, driving and cooking. I keep saying that every time. I'm sometimes of being annoying also, but that
Uh,
would not refrain me from
yeah.
telling that it's a big life skills.
That's right. So reading and writing, very important part. And in today's world, so
Yeah.
I'm so glad you teaching all those writing as well as reading. These are very critical skills, and that's amazing. So everyone watching, reading, writing, of course, I'm going to include uh, Shipra's contact information. So Ms. Shipra, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm going to put it up along with this interview. So everyone watching today, thank you so much for watching. And Shipra, on behalf of the entire team of Inspiration Masters, I thank you so much for
Thank you,
taking
Jay.
the time. And we wish you all the best with whatever you undertake, and keep on doing the great service
Thank you.
to the people around you. And this is amazing, amazing thing to hear that people can come in, they can contact you very easily, and they can, in the come from the comfort of their home, they can join you in a class. So again, everyone watching, this is Jay at Inspiration Master. Thanks for watching. I will see you back shortly.